the New York or Nowhere collab drop with the Mets today. We have their creative director coming on the show. Keith Raad from Odyssey Mets Radio will help break down this Mets Cardinals series. And Huascar Brazobán, who's off to an incredible start in the Mets bullpen, also joins the show. This is the warm-up. I'm Mike Janella. It is the Mets official Citi Field Series preview show. All those guests are coming up, and you get to watch the Mets warm up shortly. But first, it's the leadoff spot, the one stat you need to know for this series. That stat is 2.38. That's the Mets team ERA entering this 7-game homestand. It's number 1 in the majors. Best staff ERA in baseball, the only team under 2.50. They're going to have their hands full against the Cardinals lineup. That's 3rd in OPS, 5th in total runs scored in baseball this season. How do they plan on attack them? Well, we're going to ask Huascar Brazobán that right after this. Enjoy the Mets in the warm-up. Here with one of the standouts of what's been an incredible Mets bullpen so far this year, Warmup Brazoban and Alan Surdiel here to help us with translating here on behalf of the Mets. Huascar, 8 appearances this year, 12 in the 3rd inning, just 1 run. That's a 0.73 ERA. You're off to the best start of your career. What's different this season?
8 salidas para ti, 2 entradas, 12 y un tercio. Solamente te han hecho una carrera. ¿Qué es la causa del éxito que tú has tenido este año?
Gracias por la oportunidad de entrevista. Yo creo que el éxito mío ha sido trabajar mi picheo en la zona. Me enfoqué en el off-season, tú sabes que mis picheos son buenos, tienen buen movimiento, me enfoqué en el off-season, en trabajarlo más en la zona y yo creo que por eso tiene buen resultado.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for the opportunity for the interview. But I think the biggest key has been attacking the zone and being able to execute my pitches in the zone. Everyone knows that I have good stuff, that I have a lot of movement on my pitches. But this offseason, I really focused in on throwing more strikes and staying in the strike zone. I think that's been the reason why I've had the success that I've had so far.
The Mets and especially pitching coach Jeremy Hefner have earned this reputation for helping guys like you come here and really unlock something, get to a new level. Were they having those conversations with you, or is that something you brought to them and they helped you implement this new strategy of yours?
Que los Mets, el pitching coach, ellos tienen la reputación de poder ayudar a los pitchers cuando lleguen aquí para poder desarrollarse más. ¿Tú sientes como que eso es lo que han hecho para ti y si ellos tuvieron esa conversación contigo en el off-season?
Se le agradece mucho a ellos, se comunicaron conmigo en el off-season. Te digo, aquí tienen más tecnología que el otro equipo que yo he estado. Me he acercado y me he puesto a escucharlo a ellos. Y gracias a Dios he tenido buenos resultados con lo que ellos me han dicho. En el equipo me hicieron una videollamada y me explicaron el conocimiento de mi picheo, cómo podía usarlo. Yo creo que añadí eso a mi repertorio y creo que eso me ha ayudado mucho.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to the staff here. From the start of the off season, they called me. They got on a video call with me and they told me exactly how they could help me. They gave me just a different pitch mix on how to mix my pitches and what to throw at certain counts. So it really did help me. And also, this team, the technology, the information that they have is different from any other team that I've ever been on. So I'm really grateful for them and for being able to help me unlock some things that I needed to unlock.
So you throw that all in together, plus the other arms with you in the bullpen, and it's the 3rd best bullpen ERA in all of baseball entering today. What is it about all these different pieces, you guys together, that's making this work so well?
Que si tú coges el éxito tuyo, el éxito de los otros muchachos que están aquí, somos el 3er mejor bullpen considerando la efectividad. ¿Por qué tú sientes como que todo funciona bien aquí?
Yo creo que por la comunicación, la confianza que tenemos uno al otro, la química que hay en el bullpen de nosotros los muchachos allá. todo el mundo está enfocado en el juego y cuando le toca hacer lo que nos toca hacer, salimos a competir. Yo creo que ese ha sido el éxito, con la concentración en el juego y cuando salimos ahí del 100% de cada uno.
Yeah, I think communication is been the biggest part for us. It's communication, it's the trust, and it's the confidence that we have within ourselves and each other. We're all there. We're all locked into the game, and whenever our name is called, we just have to lock in. We focus when we get to the mound, and we do our job, and then the next one does the job, and so on and so forth.
And then you guys have a really tough challenge this series against the Cardinals team that's off to some really good offensive numbers to begin the year. What's the plan of attack? What do you guys expect to see when they step into the box against you this weekend?
Que nosotros nos vamos a enfrentar contra un buen equipo ofensivamente como San Luis. ¿Cuál es el plan de ataque y qué tú crees que debemos hacer para tener el éxito?
El mismo plan para todo el equipo. En esto no hay debilidad. Aquí no hay bateadores débiles como están ahí parados. Uno tiene el mismo enfoque, atacar la zona y atacar con lo mejor que uno tiene. Y eso uno va a tener un resultado con venga quien venga a batear, hay que atacar con lo mejor que uno tiene.
Yeah, it's the same plan for every team. These guys are all professional hitters. They're over here trying to do their job. So what we have to do is go out there. We have to compete. We have to execute our pitches, attack the zone as much as possible, and just go out there and battle.
All right, appreciate it. Muchas gracias a las dos y buena suerte. We're back with Keith Raad from Mets radio booth to break down this series even more. So when we did our season premiere last homestand, Keith Raad from Odyssey Mets Radio joined us, and the internet was clamoring, demanding for him to come back. So we got to give the people what they want. Welcome back, Keith. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Well, welcome back from the road too. So you're out there as the Mets went to Oakland and to Minnesota. 6-game road trip. They split it. Could have very easily been a 4-2 road trip. What were your biggest takeaways from the whole 6-gamer?
Yeah, I think the fact that Pete Alonso is a man on a mission right now. Like get out of his way. I mean, we'd love to see everybody else hit the way Pete is hitting, but I mean, he's literally tearing up the league in a way we haven't seen in a couple of years from him, which is really, really nice to know that it's been in there the whole time. It's been unlocked with whatever he did in the offseason. The Mets can still pitch. I mean, their bullpen is terrific. They finally gave up a couple runs, so I guess they are human beings out there, but we've seen really good stuff from the pitching too.
Still the best ERA overall in baseball, even with a couple of runs allowed. Pete Alonso is a bit of the exception so far. The offense, preseason, a lot of high expectations for this offense. Pete exempted. Injuries have obviously, with Jeff McNeil and Francisco Alvarez, taken their toll as well. What is it going to take for this offense to get to that point that people were expecting, world beaters before the season started? Or is it a little unfair to expect that this early in the season?
No, I mean, it's definitely a criticism of this team right now is because when you have expectations that are so high because you know of the talent that this lineup provides, that's when, they don't come through in a moment where they have guys on base. It's a little shocking because they're certainly building the rallies that they need. They constantly have traffic. Guys are still taking their walks. It's just that big hit. And I think coming back here, where the Mets were 5-1 in that last homestand, you get the place jumping and buzzing, and everybody's so excited about the Mets at home this year. Those are the kind of things that help break through because we talk about what this team could be. Talk about the 2006 Mets, how good that offense was. This one could be right there with it. They'll wake up. It'll come.
When you get enough traffic on the bases, it's going to cash in at some point. They're 13th in OPS when the bases are empty, 27th with runners on. That will equalize at some point, especially when you have guys of this caliber of talent, I would imagine, in this lineup quickly. So they're trying to now get that going against the Cardinals team that comes in with a great offense of their own so far in the early going. You're scouting this team, preparing to call this 4-game series. What are some strengths, some weaknesses? What kind of matchup is this for the Mets against St. Louis?
Yeah, we see them so much. Of course, during the season, you have the 2 series. You see them so much in spring training, so we know these guys like the back of our hand. And knowing what the Cardinals have gone through the last couple of years is that St. Louis is kind of getting a little bit restless about their Cardinals team that is usually in the playoffs every single year. That hasn't been the case. And so there were some rumors, Nolan Arenado, is he going to stay or is he going to go? He's still here. He's hitting, and the rest of the Cardinals are hitting out of the gate. And so think they've heard the noise in St. Louis, and they're kind of privy to, okay, we got to step it up, because they're a pretty good team, and offensively right now they'll make this really this good Mets pitching staff. It's going to be a tough matchup because 1 through 9 they're pretty much all hitting right now.
They will have to earn it, absolutely. A team that's third in OPS in the major, St. Louis, coming in to test what has been a really good Mets staff so far. Last question, as an announcer, how fun is it to say Lars Nootbaar so often over a long weekend?
It's great. Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, get used to that. Keith Raad, much appreciated. Have a great call this weekend.
Thanks, Mike. Always good to see you.
All right, that's Keith Raad from Odyssey Mets Radio. When we come back, New York or Nowhere dropped its collab today. Going to talk to their creative director about it. Just hours after officially releasing their collaboration with the Mets, New York or Nowhere has taken over Citi Field tonight for the series, and Quincy Moore here, the creative director of one of the most iconic brands that's come of age in the last couple of years, is here. Congratulations on this.
Thank you very much. It's super exciting. We're happy to be here.
Happy to have you. And for anyone who knows what NYON is all about, this has been like waiting for Christmas morning. But for anyone who doesn't, just to catch them up, what's the 20, 30-second background on you guys, your vision, what this brand's all about?
Sure, yeah. So New York or Nowhere is a lifestyle brand about the greatest city on earth. We kind of like to think of New York as a team and NYON as its wardrobe. We have a store in Nolita. We're a pretty small team. We do collaborations with many of the New York sports teams. Today has been by far the most successful of any of them, so you guys have that. Congratulations. The fans have been insane, so we're very excited to be here.
And it's just getting started. We're taking a look here at the Mets team store at Citi Field, some of the items, but give us a full grasp of depth. What can we expect from this collaboration? What's out there? What's available?
You can expect like an assortment of really premium merchandise. I think, we take a lot of pride in the quality of our products and giving people more than what they're paying for. And this assortment is 52 pieces total, adult, unisex, kids, a bunch of headwear from our friends at New Era. So it's a really well-rounded assortment. Most of the hits in terms of just our logo marks, and then we developed some new stuff for you guys as well.
Yeah, I think one of these patch right here, the home run apple and orange.
The home run apple and orange.
This jacket's sick.
This is probably my favorite piece, and it seems like it was the fans' favorite piece today as well.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I'm gonna have to talk to you after we're done filming this about maybe getting my hands on one.
You can take it off my back.
Oh, perfect.
I got another one.
Sweet. You said before, the New York or Nowhere brand is about capturing the values, the feeling of New York City, and putting it in a product. But New York City can be a lot of things, right? It's Broadway, it's bacon, egg, and cheese, it's living in an apartment under the subway. Where does sports fit into that for you?
I mean, I think sports are the great unifier, right? Nothing brings a city together more than its sports teams. And, obviously we have 2 baseball teams and 2 football teams, and so there's some, divisiveness there. But I think in general, it brings people together like nothing else can.
What about the Mets specifically do you see that encapsulates those values of New York City that made this collaboration something you guys wanted to do?
Yeah, when I think of the Mets, I think of grit and determination and resilience, and a lot of these words also apply to the city of New York herself. Like I said, the fans have been so passionate about this. They love their team, and that's a similar feeling that we have about the city, and it's great.
It helps that the colors of the New York City flag are also blue and orange, and the Mets links up pretty well.
It's true, and we do the Knicks as well, and we've never done this colorway for them. We got some heat about that today, but you guys had it first.
Well, enjoy that, Mets fans, because Quincy has a lot of people in his ear, and Mets fans got that, like you said. Mike Piazza is the face of this campaign.
Mike.
He's a Mets Hall of Famer. Yeah. He's a baseball Hall of Famer. What made him the right person to represent what you guys are doing here?
The casting the campaigns is like my favorite part of the job.
I get to meet a lot of cool people.
I get to meet a lot of really cool people. It's deeply personal to me, but it's also about kind of tapping into like the collective consciousness of the fan base at a moment in time. And I think, there's that famous home run that Mike hit after 9/11. And we kept coming back to that as we were building this project up, and it just made sense to celebrate him as part of this project, given how iconic that moment is and how much he brought the city together and helped us start to heal. Mike's a legend.
For all that, as a local kid, my personal favorite moment in Mets history, so it's really cool to hear you say that, and someone that knows what this city's all about, to have him be involved in this collaboration as well. Well, everyone's already been talking about it. People are lining up. They were lining up, you said, around the block at your store today, and online has been on fire. What are you hoping for out of this collaboration when all said and done?
Look, we hope that it resonates with the fans. right? That's what this is all about. That's why we do this. That's why we put all the effort into it. If it doesn't hit the fans, then we've missed the mark. And so at the end of the day, that's the greatest accomplishment is the love that we receive from the people that love the team.
Well, you can show love to this collaboration and
Come
get your
out.
hands on it while
Come
it's
out.
available.
While
I'm sure,
supplies
yeah,
last.
exactly. Got to put that
gonna go
caveat on
quick.
there. At the Mets house in Union Square, at the New York or Nowhere shop in
Yep.
Nolita, online,
Online.
NewYorkOrNowhere.com, and of course right here at the Mets team store.
Come
in
and get
Citi
it.
Field. Yeah, while it's here. Quincy, much appreciated.
Thank you,
Great
man.
work and
Thanks
congratulations
for having us.
again.
Appreciate
I'll come
it.
back to wrap this up.
Thanks, guys.
Our thanks to Huascar Brazoban, Keith Raad, and Quincy Moore. Come out and get your hands on that New York or Nowhere merch here at Citi Field or at the Mets house in Union Square or anywhere else before it's gone. First pitch start times of this series, it's 7:10 tonight, 7:10 Friday, 4:05 Saturday, and 1:40 on Easter Sunday. Two iconic National League brands, Mets and Cardinals, going at it. Should be a great start to the homestand. For all of our guests, my name is Mike Janella. Make sure to follow the Mets on all your favorite social media channels for the latest. And thanks for joining us on The Warmup.